Guys, we're at the headwaters of a pretty major river in one of my hunting areas. We're in Southern Virginia. It'll be a good day. We're going down here to do some non-invasive preseason scouting. We're looking at mud to find tracks, going down to the main river where all coyote traffic has to be consolidated to the bridges. We're going to start there and start seeing what kind of coyote activity we have this year. And all right, guys, here we are down at the main river, and you see behind me, it's a pretty good sized river. So the bridge I'm standing on is going to consolidate all the coyote travel in this area. I've got national forest over on that side on the mountain, and I got a bunch of it going that way. On the other side of that mountain is ag. On the other side of that mountain is ag. And you can see in the back here, I got an ag field back here full of Angus cows. And all up and down through this valley here, there's dairy or poultry and beef farms mostly. And so, you know, they're going to be mice and all kinds of critters in those fields and meadows. And maybe in the springtime when coyotes are desperate, you might take a calf or two. So plenty of deer here too. We're down here in Southern Virginia on a pretty good sized river. What we're going to be doing is this road connects the two plots of national forest, these two mountains. And this is the one road right here that connects them. And to my left, the road goes up in the mountains and splits and goes over into the other watershed over there. Same thing over here. And the next closest bridge is about 3 miles down that way and about 4 miles up this way where we were at just before. And that's like kind of in the headwaters area. There's another river that comes in out of the mountains over here. So yeah, this is what we're looking for. This is kind of where everything starts. Everything's going to start. There's going to be some dirt roads and some mud puddles up and through here. We're going to go look at and just see if we can find any fresh sign. We've been having rain about every day, so any sign we do find is going to be pretty darn fresh. We may not find any sign. We had rain in here yesterday, so may not find anything but old sign, if that. So that's the name of the game. Just try to come down in here, get on these bridges, start looking in the mud puddles, and getting a feel for, are there coyotes in the area. So, all right, so this is a really cool find. What we got right here is a bobcat turd, and the way you can tell it's a bobcat turd is it has these little indentations and these little oval indentations between the segments. And yeah, so that's good to know. Bobcat turds are often pretty crusty too. They get like a little crust on them. And oh man, he ate something that's got like a claw in it. You can see right there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Good to know we got bobcats down here. I'm 200 yards probably from that bridge that I was showing you guys on the main river, and I'm just standing here in this dried up little wash. It's like a wet weather wash, and we're real close to CRP meadows, and yeah, bobcats love to travel near water, so I'll keep that in mind. We'll put this information in our pocketbook for November when they come in season. Maybe come down here and do some longer sets down by the river. So good to know the bobcats are in here, and we're gonna head back to the main road. It gets kind of grassy down in here, and that grass is up real high, and I've already gotten 2 ticks, so we're going back up here to the main road, hit some more puddles, and see if we can find some coyote tracks. Stay tuned. All right, guys, this is going to be super hard to see, but we got some toe marks right here, and again, he lays a print right here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a pad right in here. I don't see any toenail marks. That's probably our little bobcat buddy. We're a quarter mile up from that dry wash, which is just right over in there. Little dry wash goes right up through there, and that's probably our little bobcat buddy. This might be the hollow he's heading up in. Good to know. Sweet, man. I tell you what, we're down here along the river bottom. There's all kinds of these roads that split off in all directions. You can see here's another one. I don't know what I'd do without a hunting app to retrace my steps, because everything looks the same down in here. The only tracks we're seeing down in here today is deer mainly. We did see a couple things that look like they might have been old coyote or bobcat tracks, but it's just a little too hard to be sure. So we're gonna get up on one of the mountains on the side here, see what we got going on up there. I know of a couple muddy spots in the trails up there. We're gonna go up there and just kind of take a look around. Yeah, we weren't sure what we were gonna find here today with all these big heavy rains that are coming every day, but just see some fresh deer sign, a lot of fawns, a lot of little tiny fawn deer. So that's a good sign. Yeah, thank God for hunting apps, man. You can get turned around in some of these river bottoms. Well, we're finishing up our day up on top of the mountain and just doing a little bit of a turd run up on some fire roads up here away from the main river. And storms are getting ready to break again, so we're gonna have to get out of here soon before it gets nasty. But yeah, one important takeaway from the day for me was we were down by the river in an area that in the fall I do really well on coyotes. There's just a boatload of them down there in the fall, but we were down there today at one of the river pinch points on the bridges, moseyed around a whole bunch of mud holes, and didn't really see a whole lot of coyote sign, but we did see some bobcat sign, so that's encouraging. But one takeaway I thought of is, you know, why in an area in the fall that I'm seeing all those coyotes and hearing all them coyotes, why would I not be seeing their footprints this time of year? And the only thing I can think of is you know, they're still in mom and dad and denning mode, and probably the only one that's out traveling is dad, so he's not laying down a whole lot of sign. If you got 25% of the coyotes, you know, are out walking around like dad and maybe a subadult female that's helping to feed the young, you know, it makes sense why there would be less tracks. But down there in the fall on that particular ground we were at today down by the river, man, it gets tracked up like crazy. But I'm down there during hunting season seeing that, and that's when dispersal's happening, so it kind of makes sense. And if you take into consideration yesterday, I was in a whole lot more intimate location, and way up in, halfway up a mountain, way far away from the main river and travel ways, and in a more intimate setting with clear cut after clear cut after clear cut, and ended up seeing some fresh tracks. Saw a total of three turd piles up in there and some fresh tracks. And so that area is kind of sequestered off away from the main river, where mom and dad are trying to be a little more quiet and low profile while they're raising their young. So that kind of makes sense why that fresh sign would be in there. But come fall, we'll be down in that river a good bit, because those bridges are ways for coyotes to get to and from both sides of the valley there. And so but yeah, if there's not very many coyotes in that area at this time of year, it kind of makes sense why that bobcat turd is down in there, because that's the first bobcat turd I've seen in that area. I've been hunting that area pretty well here lately, and so yeah, if the coyotes are kind of backed off away from those river crossings because they're sequestered up in where they've got springs and stuff feeding their pups, and bobcats moving down into that river, and that's pretty fresh sign, because that wash normally has water in it in the fall, and as much rain we've had, I can't believe that turd didn't get washed down river. So that bobcat turd, even though it was a little crusty on the outside, was probably just a few weeks old. So man, that's a great sign. Hopefully we'll get on one of those this year. Wouldn't that be something? But we're going to wrap up the day. Hope what you saw today was helpful, and we'll keep doing these scouting videos just to kind of show you all what it is that we do out here to try to find these things in the mountains. And today you got to see kind of the size of river that I prefer to hunt around. They're big enough to kind of make it difficult for the coyotes to to cross just anywhere they want. So they're going to use bridges, and where those bridges lead up into the mountains on both sides, that's a good place to kind of work your way out from. And so take that for what it's worth, and I hope y'all have a great week ahead. We'll see you soon.